Alright, what's up y'all? Welcome to another video. So today, since it's like the end of the first year for me for college, and a lot of people who go to college, it's like towards the end of the year for them, I thought I would do a video on college like tips and like assumptions and stuff and all of that. So that's what today's video is going to be. I have 6 main like topics that I want to talk about, and then that's about it. The first main one that I wrote down was high school prepares you for college. And I feel like it's one of those things where, like, ever since elementary school, you've been preparing for, like, the next school that you go to. So, like, in elementary school, they were like, we're preparing you for middle school. In middle school, they were like, we're preparing you for high school. And in high school, they were like, we're preparing you for college. And academically, that's not, like, incorrect, you know? So, academically, they do prepare you as much as you think. But, one thing that's definitely kind of different about the transition from like high school to college is that professors do not give 2 flying fucks. They will not be on your ass about deadlines. They will not be on your ass about work. They do not care about your grade. They do not care if you show up. They don't care if you're on your phone. They don't care if you're not paying attention, because either way, they're still getting paid, you know, like they get you paid to go there. So like it's kind of like you get what you like put in, if that makes sense. Like if you're in class constantly paying attention, you're obviously gonna grasp more concepts and stuff like that. One of my main big points is that high school and college are completely different in the way of like professors do not give 2 flying fucks about you. That's basically it. That's the main takeaway. The second part, it kind of goes along with the first part. Attendance, it honestly depends on your professor. Like some of my professors, like for my communications and my English class, they take attendance and that goes towards your final grade. So like every single time they take attendance, if you're not there, then your grade gets changed, and every single time they take attendance and you are there, your grade gets changed. So it's kind of like it's a pro and a con. Like in my 2 classes, like I missed multiple classes, but it didn't affect my grade that much because of the other grades that I had in that class. So it's kind of like you gotta pick your battles with that. I have I have multiple classes that don't take attendance at all. All my other classes don't take attendance. Like they do not care if you're not there. It doesn't go into your grade, but those are the classes that, like, for my major, I have to take, and I have to get good grades in, and I have to pass. So for those classes, it's more of like, if you don't show up, you kind of are a little bit fucked. So I would just say, like, for your gen ed classes, if attendance matters, just get on top of it, and then if it doesn't matter but it's in a class that you need for your major, definitely show up. Another thing with attendance is that I forget what I was gonna say. What the fuck was I gonna say? Attendance. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say about attendance is that make sure you look at your syllabuses. I know that sounds like corny and all this and that, but the main thing in your syllabus, you don't gotta read the whole fucking 7-page thing that's in freaking 10 Times New Roman font, not double spaced. You don't gotta read all that. What I recommend reading is just looking at the attendance policy, because there are some classes where, at least for my college, if you miss like 3 classes or 5 classes, it brings like, it'll affect your grade. Like I think it's either a letter grade, or it's like if you're at a B, you go to like a B minus, or a certain amount of points get taken off. So I would definitely recommend looking at the syllabuses, because for every class it's different, especially the ones that take attendance. the ones that take attendance are going to be more on top of it and stuff like that. So I would just make sure to read your syllabus and like just make sure you don't go over that limit. Yeah. The next thing I have is commuter versus a resident. I put this on here because I'm a commuter at the moment. This whole year, last semester and this semester, I was a commuter. I live half an hour away from my college. I thought, hey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, really, when you think about it, because I'm only half an hour away. But when I have an 8:30 in the morning and I have to leave my house at 6, well, I have to get up at 6, leave my house by 7 to get there by 8:30, it's kind of a hassle. And so what I recommend doing is that if you're a commuter, just make sure you plan your classes sort of like later in the day so that you don't have to be waking up at 6 to leave by 7 and getting stuck in traffic and stuff like that. So that's definitely one of my main takeaways from being a commuter, is that if you are a commuter, just make your classes a little bit later if you can. If you can't, it's not the end of the fucking world. Monday mornings in general suck fucking ass. So the fact that I have to get up at 6 in the morning on a Monday is even worse. So I don't recommend it, but if you're that type of person that loves getting up early in the morning and starting your day, go for it. Have a fucking blast. Do you, boo-boo. The other thing about commuter and resident is that everyone is like, oh, if you're a commuter, like, make sure you get into clubs and you socialize and this and that and get into sports. And it's like, if you want to do that, go for it. Have a field day, you know? Like, if that's your thing, don't let me stop you. But if you're a commuter, I'm telling you right now, and if you're worried about making friends and you don't want to join a club and you don't want to do this, that, and the other thing, you really don't have to. It's not that big of a deal. You will meet friends. You'll meet friends in your classes that have the same goals as you and that are the same major as you and all this and that. So don't worry about being so involved in the school community if you really don't want to. If you're just there to get your degree, get your fucking degree. Don't let anyone stop you. But if you're a commuter and you want to make friends and you just can't live on campus for like financial reasons or anything like that, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. You'll get through it. You'll make friends and you'll have a good time. I promise you. My fourth topic is studying. Now I know it's fucking annoying. It's lame. I know. Believe me, I fucking get it. But it honestly, when it comes to studying, I recommend just do it with friends. You know, it makes it more fun when you do anything with friends. So doing something as tedious and freaking head pounding as studying, doing it with friends, especially if they have like the same assignment, the same test that's coming up, it definitely helps because you bounce off of each other, and if you don't know something, they can help you. If they don't know something, you can help them and stuff like that. So I definitely recommend like studying with friends and stuff like that. A lot of my professors, whenever we have an exam, they put a review packet out, whether it's a review packet that they pass out in class, a review packet online where you can print it out, a Kahoot, whatever it might be, slideshow, whatever. I definitely recommend using those. It helps me so much. You go over everything that you've learned in whatever set amount of time, and it allows you to like narrow into what you need to know right then and there. For finals, since finals are coming up, I am going to mention it. For finals, it's definitely go back to every single exam you've ever had and rewrite. If your professor doesn't like put a blank copy online, rewrite every single question. I'm telling you, every single question down and try to do it from memory, and then go to like an answer key. Whether they post it or if it's like your past exam, just go back to that, and I guarantee that is one of the best ways to study, because I tried doing flashcards, I tried doing Kahoot and stuff like that, and for my brain it just doesn't work. So it might be different for you. I'm not telling you that's the way to do it for everyone. I'm just saying for me it works better for my brain to rewrite the question so that I know the question so that I can know the answer, if that makes sense. Oh my god, I'm like fucking forgetting every single English word in the dictionary right now. What was I gonna say? Oh my fuck. Another thing I have is textbooks and materials. Please, for the love of God, I am begging you to rent your textbooks if you can. I am begging you, please. I literally, throughout the year, probably purchased, like, put money, not getting that money back. I think I'm at 3 or 4 textbooks that I bought, and I've never touched in my whole life. I've never even opened them. The only time I touched them was when I picked them up. I've never, ever opened a textbook. If you can find the online version that has a PDF, do it. If you can rent the textbook, do it. Do not buy the textbook. It is not worth spending $200, $300 on a textbook when you don't even touch it and it just sits on a shelf. Please, for the love of God, do not buy a textbook. That is all I'm saying, because I promise, unless it's like a class where you know you will use the textbook and you're going to write notes in it, go for it, do what you want. But if you're not, just don't, or rent the textbook and then end up buying it if you end up writing notes and using it all the time and want to keep it. Just don't off the rip buy a textbook. You don't need to be spending $300 on a textbook. The other thing is that when they give you like your course material list, they tend to, like, they will put like the materials that you need, like the textbooks, whatever. Like if you have a lab, they'll be like, oh, you need like these goggles, whatever. If you don't buy the textbook off of the school site, it will cost you so much more than you need to spend. Buy it off of Amazon. Find a freaking random store that has it. I guarantee there are cheaper options and there are better options than buying your textbook straight from the site. I promise you'll find it somewhere else. Just look at the, whatever the code is. I forget exactly what the code is. I don't remember the name of it, but it's on the back of the book. It'll be on the website. Just copy and paste it. Find the textbook. I promise it's like 9 times out of 10 on Amazon. Another thing I had down is materials. Definitely be prepared for having a notebook and a folder. Some classes are like, oh, have a binder. I had that happen to me first semester, freshman year, and I never used the fucking binder. I just ended up using a notebook and a folder. Have a notebook, have a folder. If you have a laptop and an iPad, you can bring it. Teachers don't care what you write notes on as long as you're writing, well, actually, they really don't give a fuck at all. Professors don't give 2 fucks. So if you pull out, like, for half of my classes, when I take notes, I use my iPad. So it's just, and then the other half I don't even take notes in. So it's really based off of what you prefer. If you want handwritten notes where you have a pencil in hand, a piece of paper, and you just remember things better that way, have a notebook. If you want to use your iPad, use your iPad. If you want to type them out and use your computer, use your computer. It really doesn't matter. The only time that it mattered for me was when I was in my labs, because labs are very specific when it comes to electronics and drinks and stuff like that, because they don't want it to get like contaminated. They don't want you to spill something. They don't want you to this, that, the other thing. So that's the only time where it really came down to like, oh, I need a notebook. So I would say just do what you prefer. Honestly, it's up to you. They do not care at all, I promise you. Another thing I have down is schedule. Everyone tells you, don't take an 8:30, don't take an 8:30, don't take an 8:30. I feel like if you're a resident, you're living on campus, an 8:30 is not that bad. When it comes down to it, like an 8:30 in the morning, you have more time in the afternoon. It's not that bad. If that's the only thing that works with your schedule, do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Don't take my advice. My advice doesn't rule the world. Just do what you want to do what you feel comfortable with. If an 8:30 sounds appealing, go for it. If it doesn't, don't go for it. I took an 8:30 both semesters, and the first semester I did fine. I showed up to all the classes. The second semester, it's a 50-50 shot on if I showed up, but it's not really that it's all up to personal preference. Don't let anyone tell you don't take an 8:30 and they make it seem all terrible and disgusting when it's your personal preference on what you want to do. Another thing is that I had the first semester, my schedule was all spread out throughout all 5 days. I had classes, like, I had 2 classes in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and had like a 2-hour break. If you prefer that, then I definitely recommend it. It is nice to have like a little break where you can just chill for an hour, go get food if you want, all this and that. If you prefer like more of a set schedule where everything is one after another, I did that this semester. I guarantee you will not show up to half your classes. I did that this semester. I had 5 classes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 minutes in between. I started at 8:30, got out at 1:20. It sounds so appealing. It sounds like, okay, I get that done. I had Thursdays off. I had an extra day. You know, I was chilling. Don't fucking do it. You won't go to half your classes. I guarantee you. Towards, like, after spring break is when it got, like, bad. Like, I would go to, like, I would skip English, 8:30 in the morning. No, I'm sleeping the fuck in. I'd skip my second class, FYI, because she doesn't take attendance. I would go to Chem, and then I would skip communications, and I would go to Bio. I went to 2 out of my 5 classes, like, almost every other day. It was super bad. If you're... you can do it if you think you can stick it out. I have a friend that did that both semesters, and he went to every single one of his classes. Swear to God, that kid's never missed a class, and honestly, props to him. But I'm telling you, it's tiring. You're gonna want to be like, I just want to go on my phone, or I just want to sleep in, and my motivation definitely went down when I had that schedule. So I just recommend spreading it out a little bit more so that you have time for yourself, even though you may not get like out as early, or you may not have that extra day off. Just give yourself time to process and give yourself time to chill between classes. Is definitely worth it, and you won't feel as burnt out as you do when you have one class after another. Another thing that I want to mention really quick is that, hate to tell y'all, popularity from high school doesn't roll over into college. Like I said, it's a clean slate. No one knows who you are. No one gives a fuck if you were popular in high school. It doesn't roll over. It doesn't matter if you were the quarterback in football. It doesn't matter if you were the most popular bitch in school. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't roll over. No one cares about popularity in college. So they're there to make friends. They're there to get a degree. They don't really give 2 flying fucks. Doesn't roll over. It doesn't matter. Another thing is that there's always going to be drama, okay? No matter whether you're in fucking 8th grade, if you're a sophomore in high school, or if you're a freshman in college, there's always drama. There's always drama around you. The main reason for this is that, especially when you're a freshman, you're hanging around a bunch of kids where they're finally away, free from their parents. There's always going to be drama. There's always going to be shit going around. It's just a natural human nature type of thing, you know? So it's kind of like, it's a different type of drama from middle school or high school, but it's still there. It's still drama. It's still always going to be there, and it fucking sucks. But at the end of the day, you can't really do anything about it, and just, if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you fucking love drama, go all fucking for it. There's plenty out there, but if you're not for it, just try to avoid it. It's not that hard to avoid, but like I said, it's always going to be around you, so that's a con. I realized I didn't do an outro at the end of the video, so I'm doing one now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will definitely be more college videos, vlogs, and just college things in general in the future. But I will see you guys next week. I love you guys. Deuces, bitches.